GERO 200 fall semester 2020. So today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. And so I'm going to show you now how to consume the content and then further reinforce the expectations of what the class is all about. I'm also going to send you a video that Julie and I made on Sunday as we strolled into UCSD Moore's Cancer Center, and she was going in for an infusion where she gets a bag of antibodies that give her more immunity because her cancer is in her immune system, which is pretty dangerous during pandemics, stuff like SARS-CoV-2. So yeah, each bag costs $16,000, believe it or not. Okay, thank you for insurance. Okay, awesome. Okay, so again, we're kind of looking right here at my view as an instructor. So we have a lot more going on in the menu than you do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to student view. Okay, and I'll go back and forth so you can get a feel what's going on. So this is what it looks like then in terms of your taskbar over here on the left. Okay, and so here, what you're going to do, every week you're going to go in and you're going to complete the weekly assignments. Okay, like I said, calendar these days up. If there's any issue, okay, you have to let us know. There should be no issue in terms of the assignments that are written assignments, the paper assignments, turn it in assignments. Okay, they're all listed here because you have plenty and lots of time to get this done. We do have the exams set up for select time slots on these days. If there's an issue with this, you have to let us know. Okay, and that's it. Certainly get us your DSP accommodation letters as well, so we can make sure that we're doing everything we can to ensure your success in this course. Okay, alrighty. Again, if you have any questions, don't forget there's all kinds of information in here, how-to folders. Okay, how to navigate the course. Okay, how to turn it in, on and on and on and on. Now, some of you has already got in to this class. Okay, for looking at the assignment, you saw my old video, so this is going to be the updated video that applies to you guys, which is fall semester 2020. Again, the beauty, this is all the background on the resources that we use that are open education resources. Okay, so it's all free, baby. No book for this class. All righty. So this is week one right here. So we're going to click right here. Okay, so as you can see, this is my old video. All right, so I'm going to replicate this approach and I'm going to put the new video that is your video right here. Okay, so each week, what is it you got to do? Okay, each week you got to do the reading assignment. Okay, as indicated right here. This is fairly simple reading. Okay, what I encourage you to do as well is to go back and forth between the reading that you're doing and just go ahead and open your quiz. So here's your quiz right here. Okay, you can see that it's open. Okay, and all the quizzes are open all throughout the course. See, for the right now, the discussion just opened. Okay, now if we go back and we're going to look at the other weeks, I'm just go backward in my browser. Sometimes Blackboard can be finicky. Sometimes you go backward in your browser. Sometimes you can't. Okay. All right, so we'll check out and we'll look at another week right here. So we can go week two. Okay. You see, we have all the dates listed right here. You see that what's missing is I have to put my lecture in right here. Okay. Awesome. Week two. You see what we did? We said, go ahead and do the readings. You can do the quizzes ahead of time. You just have to get them done by the due dates that are indicated in Blackboard. Okay. As well, see the due date right there? You got to get them done by then. Okay. And as well as you have to get your discussions in by that date. Now you see that we roll the discussions out every week. Okay. So this is the first week. So you're not going to see the second week discussion. Okay, so that's the drill on that. All right, I can also just go back this way. If I don't want to go backward on my browser, I can just click right here. And what I do, I clicked on the wrong tab. Okay, I'm going to click right here. Okay, that's for your written assignments. There it is. Okay, and I can scroll on down like so. So yeah, I can do the same thing here. Right here, we can look at cancer. This is important. The cancer section is super important. Obviously, my wife has cancer, and roughly 1 out of every 2 of you guys will get cancer in your lifetime. So I know that you're dealing with it, through exposure, either family members, friends. So it's really important to become informed, because once you become informed, you can become a major advocate to make sure you get everything taken care of. Okay. All right. So yeah. So here's all just charts and things like that that are part of this cancer section. Okay. I'm just scrolling through here. There's the quiz. Okay. Same deal. No discussion. All right. So now you kind of get what I'm talking about. All righty. So let's go back in here. All right. And so I'm going to go back into week 1. Okay. And boom. All right. So we left this video in here so you had a feel what it's going to look like. I'm going to replace it right now. All right. So my suggestion to you is, what you do is you just kind of go right here. This is a PDF file. So you're going to click on it. All right. It's going to download. All right. There it is. Okay. All right. So what is it I'm supposed to be doing? According to this, we're going to look at the forward through trend 5. Okay. Remember, this stuff's all due Monday, August 24th. Okay. So that's next Monday. And then, probably the smartest thing to do is, why not just knock out the quiz as you're doing the reading assignment. All right, so here's the reading assignment right here. All right, so I'm going to go through here. All right, I'm going to set myself up. It says forward through trend 5. Okay, so that's 14 pages of reading. Okay, there's charts. Okay, so we want you to interpret the charts as well. Okay, all right, so the forward's all about, why it is this particular section of the course is so important. All right, so then what I would do is I would go back to Blackboards. All right, so I'm going right here, sorry. I would just go ahead and open my quiz. Okay, all right, so I would go like this. I would hit begin. All right, and I'm going to take a look now. All right, and I'm going to kind of review these questions. This is on a global level. The 85 and over populations is projected to be increased by what percentage? 104, 21, 151, 72% between 2005 and 2030. All right, so I'm going to look for that. Okay, and what do we expect to be the leading cause of death in the next 10 years? Okay, would it be communicable diseases? Okay, like the coronavirus? Okay, like a bacterial infection, or would it be non-communicable diseases? Okay, these are the chronic diseases of aging. Okay, communicable diseases in developing countries, but non-communicable diseases in developed countries. So you have to think about that one. What does the chapter say, or injuries? Okay, so you look at that. Okay, among developing countries. So what is a developing country versus a developed? Which country is estimated to have the fastest speed of population aging? So you ask yourself that. So is it Singapore? Is it Japan? Is it U.S. and China? Which one of these are, you can just start thinking about, which one would you think is developed and not developed? Okay. All right. And which countries is projected to have the greatest population decline between 2006 and 30? Okay. Is it Russia, Germany, U.S., and Japan? Okay. Where would you want to live in the winter? All right. Okay. So, and then 5, non-communicable, again, or chronic disease. What is that? That's diabetes, heart disease, cancer. Okay. All right. That's what it says right there. Account for what percentage of disease burden for the people over 60, people that are over 60 in our population in all countries. So this is a global thing. And the cool thing about this particular chapter, okay, I'm going to go back here to this reading, it gives you a true feel of what's going on globally, because a lot of you guys, that's your future. You're going to be advising people, okay, in other countries how to maximize their economic well-being, and a big part of that is managing their age population, because it can be such a kind of a financial burden, but also you can look at it as a financial opportunity, because, and one thing I always tell my students, if you're looking to invest, okay, should I be going up to Jed House, okay, and asking Jed, hey man, do you want to invest 20 grand in this really cool concept that I have? Jed's gonna say, no, I got student loans, or do you go to somebody like me who's 64 years of age and I got all the money? Okay, so yes, I might want to invest in some type of opportunity that's going to benefit me and my wife Julia. All right, that's what I'm looking at. All right, so for example, maybe somebody from our class is going to be heading up a biotech company that's going to figure out a way to get rid of leukemia. All right, I'd invest in that. All right, um, somebody that would help me with all the arthritis in my joints. If it was pitched to me in a way that's a slam dunk, I would invest in that. Okay, all right, so you kind of sift through this, okay? Again, they're talking about the global burden of disease, all right? And all you have to do is take a stroll down any hospital corridor, and you look inside the rooms, and you're not going to see young people, okay? You're going to see young people, all right? And the cost of hospitalization is enormous, all right? So the World Health Organization, okay, and also talks about the World Bank. This is going to be part of your kind of growth in this class, and that your first written assignment, again, it's only 3 pages long, we're going to actually go to the World Bank and gather data. It's awesome, and get a feel for differences in population trends and what impact it has um, at different types of countries. So we're going to have you compare the world, look at the U.S. We're going to have you look at developed and undeveloped countries. Okay, alrighty. So funded by the National Institute on Aging. Okay, all right. And so again, non-communicable. This means I cannot get this from you. All right, that's what communicable disease means. Okay, it's not infectious. Okay, these are just chronic diseases of aging linked to genetic predisposition, um, linked to a series of bad choices. So it's kind of nurture and nature. It's genes and environment. Okay, so if you eat really poor food, there's a greater likelihood you're going to have cardiovascular disease, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. Part of our class, we're going to talk about diabetes. 80% of people with Alzheimer's have diabetes, and diabetes is something you can avoid. Okay, cancer. Okay, there's a lot of risk factors for cancer. Okay, environmental risk factors. Do you eat a poor diet? That increases your risk. Do you smoke cigarettes? That increases your risk. Do you vape? That increases your risk. Okay, on and on and on. Okay. Did you fail to get vaccinated? All right, for say HPV. Okay, that increases your risk for a number of cancers. All right, on and on and on. Okay, so yeah, so these and that's bizarrely kind of an infectious version of a cancer. So, all right, okay. We're not talking about childhood diseases or accidents. All right, right. So it's time for you guys to address these challenges. Okay, what's happening is we keep pushing back the envelope. We keep living longer, but you guys are gonna. A big challenge for you is what it's basically as a family collective. Okay, your parents and your grandparents, they love you and they care for you. Okay, and there's gonna be a time because you love and care for your parents that the caregiving is going to reverse. And we're going to learn about this. This is a challenge, okay? But it's also an opportunity, all right? So, if we could figure out a way at the business level to make everybody's life easier and make this a better situation for older people, it's a win-win, okay? All right, so many nations are looking to us for the answer to this because we've been ahead of the curve a little bit in terms of figuring things out. However, recently during the pandemic, we also learned that oftentimes we think we got our act together and we don't. Okay, and so the emergency preparedness that existed for nursing homes and assisted living facilities, it showed us that we had a problem. We had a serious problem for infectious diseases coming in and going after the vulnerable population, their immune compromised just by getting older. Okay, I get sick more often than you do, and when I get sick, I'm more likely to get slammed because my immune system is a lot slower. Just like I can't run fast, well, guess what? My immune system's a lot slower as well in terms of mounting a defense. All right, so that's what this is all about. All right, so we're going to look at our aging world. Okay, and so you can think at an individual level, but really communally, it has such huge impacts. If you look at economics, I mean, the amount of the gross domestic product, okay, that is devoted, and this is where we look at expenditures along with the amount of money that we make as a country, okay, the amount devoted to maintaining quality of life for older people is enormous, okay? And we're going to see a lot of countries are just fully weighted down, okay? Even though they are selling lots of goods and they make lots of money, that's part of the balance right here, sorry. The other side is, okay, how much money do we have to spend on, say, Italy's version of Social Security, okay? It's a significant bundle of money. Okay. So, anyways, all right. So we're looking at 2030. Right. This is a common theme in this chapter. Okay. The projected increase. Okay. 1 out of every 8 of the Earth's inhabitants. Okay, are going to be older than 65. Okay. All right. Right now, we're somewhere, in the 700 million. Okay. So, and there's going to be a brand new. This is the state of the art. All right. Um, Publication. There's a new one that's in the works. Okay. So that's a big jump. Big jump. Okay. So this has challenges. Right. All right. Huge challenges. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I'm looking for you guys to make some economic advancements so we can take care of disease. Just think about how much money that company is going to make that comes up with the kick-ass vaccination against the coronavirus. All right, all right. These are huge challenges. Right now, it's a world challenge that we're trying to overcome. All right. Um, so we see it right now. Okay, we didn't anticipate, okay, the vulnerability of people in terms of infectious disease, and boom, it slams our economic growth. Okay, so you can see understanding disease at the level of community, public health. Okay, if you don't make good economic projections, it's going to slam you. Okay, alrighty. So this is why it's so important to understand this. Okay, and we need to understand what's going on with older people. Sorry, my phone's on right now. Now, if I was Bernie, I'd be looking at my phone going, but there, no more blink. That was my outside camera. Somebody just walked off with my TV. Okay. All righty, cool. All right, so we're seeing changes. Okay, we see these big changes in life expectancy. That's all good. Okay, we all want to live forever. Okay, to a point. Okay, how about the quality of life? Okay, and the burden. Okay, part. All right, so we see the right here. People over the age of 85 is the fastest rising group. Okay, all right. We keep seeing these chronic communicable diseases, okay, the major cause of death, okay. All right, we're going to see that some populations are going to start to shrink in some decades. All right, that was part of this quiz, so we got to figure that out, okay. We got more older people, but in a lot of communities, although the expansion of the older people, the younger people are getting smaller. What's that going to do to the workplace, right? You can't find any employees, all right? So what do we need? We need immigration, okay? We need smart immigration, okay? And that's what that's all about, to get highly qualified employees, okay? All right. Family structure is going to change. If people live longer, there's more of a burden on you, all right? Maybe you're going to have multi-generational households, all right? And that will reduce the cost. If somebody in your family starts showing dementia, the care could be 60, 80 grand a year, okay? If you have a home health aide during the very end of life years, it's $400 a day, right? And this is not covered by insurance, okay? So you got to prepare for this. You got to think about this, okay? And the problem is, we're going to learn about this. Why is our society aging? Okay, because we look at the spread of the group, okay, fewer children. I was part of that program. Okay, I didn't have my first kid. I was 39. Had my second one when I was 44. What happened? Well, I didn't have any money. I grew up in the east side of LA, right? And I had to get my act together. My wife Julia is from New Orleans. Same drill there. We had no money. Okay, we've done well by ourselves. You can take a look. We live in a great place in Laguna Niguel, but I had to get my act together, get my career in order before I had children. So luckily, she's 7 years younger than me, and so the fertility issue was not enormous. Okay, but it was a little bit of a challenge. Okay, okay, all right. So we're going to see this change in structure. Okay, patterns of work are shifting. If I'm going to live longer and I don't have a pension, okay, very few people do, mostly just government workers, then I don't have any security. The only security I have is a section of this class where we're going to do some investing. Okay, I'm going to take a chunk of my paycheck and boom, I'm going to throw it into a 401k. I'm going to throw it into an individual retirement account. I could do an annuity if we want. We're going to learn all about these things. Okay, a lot of people haven't done that. A lot of people haven't done that, and so as a result, people are going to have to work longer. All right. So there's a little discussion of this concept of pensioners, all right, and the pension system. Okay, this is a huge strain. So we have Medicare, that's a huge strain, and we have the pension systems. Okay, that's what Europe's going through. Okay, so they have higher taxes because they have to pay for these guaranteed income systems, the social insurance system. All right, all righty. So you can kind of see the drill, how you interpret this, okay? Right? But you got to look at this is, I know it's scary, it's a burden, but maybe there's an opportunity for change, opportunity for improvement, okay? Like I said, okay, right now, okay, Europe has 4 people that take a part of their paycheck, okay, for every old person, okay? By 2050, okay, um, the young people relative to the number of old people, okay, it's going to shrink. Okay, the proportionality is going to shrink. So now those same old people, they need their retirement income, that pension you guaranteed me, but now we only have 2 people paying into it. More taxes. Okay, we gotta figure this thing out. Okay, same drill is going to happen with us. All right. So there you go. All right. So we can't wait. All right, and that's what this chapter is all about. All right, you wait, you're going to have a problem. Okay, so this is why we need to have, look at that, the triumph of public health. All right, let's get back on that horse again. All right, public health. Okay, sadly, okay, with Dr. Fauci and the Center for Disease Control, they took a hit recently. Okay, um, public health is a super important specialty. I have a great friend who's an amazing MD. Okay, he worked on the front lines of the Ebola virus for months. He got both his MD and Master's in Public Health because he knew that being a doctor and helping an individual patient was not going to cure the many, many problems that we've seen worldwide, whether it was Southeast Asia, Africa, or even in our country. He used to be the head medical officer for the Arapaho Nation as well. So amazing guy. His name's Tyler Evans. Cool. Anyways, so we need from the public health that's going to lead to medical advancements. All right, that's what we're doing right now with the SARS-CoV-2 thing. Okay, um, and so this goes through all this. Why we can't wait. All right, so we have to kind of look at this scope of this reality. Right, you guys have to understand. Look at your parents. Okay, your parents are not going anywhere. Okay, you're going to care for them. And it's the same drill all across the world. Okay, we have to understand the benefits program, Medicare, and we have to understand Social Security. Okay, is that enough? Yeah, we're going to learn later on if we lined up everybody in our country from that are age 55 to 65. Okay, and we ask them how much money do you have saved into a retirement account? Okay, this is separate from housing. Just how much money do you have liquid saved in a retirement account? Okay, we lined everybody up, and we went from the people that have zero to the people that have billions. And we lined them up in order, okay, from least to most. That's called the median. And we look right there in the middle. What do you think? $16,000. That's not going to go for very far now, is it? Okay, so this is why we need to prepare. Okay, we got to prepare. You guys need to open your Fidelity account. We're going to talk about that in this class. Okay. The reason you do that, okay, is let's say you did it at 20, but here it is. If we take a 40-year-old guy, all right, and he saves $10,000 per year, okay, all right. I mean, this is my investments in the stock market through equity funds. Okay, these are large bundles, mutual funds. Okay, I've been sitting between 8 and 10% annually. It compounds. Okay. So that 8 or 10% adds to the next year. All right, now my principal's that much bigger, 8 to 10%. Throw it back in. Boom, boom, boom. That's called compounding. All right, and we can see that if only a crappy 5%, half of what I've been getting, okay, by 70, all right, that 10,000 per year, okay, will be 700 grand. All right, man, that's the way it should be. All right, so we need to think about that. All right, you guys need to consider this. Okay, all right. You look down here. This is another example. All right, if he began saving when he was 30 years old, all he would need to save, okay, to get that 700 grand is a little over $5,000 a year instead of the $10,000 a year. All right. Not only because you're adding to the principal with the amount you're putting in every year, it's money you don't need. Okay, right? Just put it away. It's tax free. Okay, right? To a point, we're going to explain that. We'll explain the difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA. All right, coming up, guys. All right, but you can't wait. Okay, all right. The cost of waiting is enormous, and that's what this is all about right here. Okay. All right, so then we can kind of look at some examples in the countries. All right, so I'm scrolling down here. Okay, so we're looking at here's trend one, an aging population. All right, guys. So what do you see here? All right, so we see this transition point that has happened just a few years back. Okay, we're looking at what are we looking at? Global. All right, so this is everybody in the world. Okay, and we see in terms of people that are dependent on the financial well-being of people that are in the workplace. Okay, so we'll make this cutoff of people 65 and over. All right, they're taking their Social Security. They're dependent, okay, on you, and they're dependent on society. Look at under age 5. Okay, you see there's a drop in global fertility, but an increase in the resources that are needed by these people. And it happened just a few years back, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Okay, big difference. These guys are not as costly in terms of disease burden as these guys. So that's something we got to think about. All right, cool. Okay, speed of population aging. Right, so we see right here, these are developed countries. Okay, so you got to look at what they're talking about here. Okay, sorry, scroll down here. All right, and we see right here. All right, it's the number of years for population age 65 to increase from 7 to 14%. It's just a statistic. It's not a meaningless statistic. It's just what they used, and then they use that all throughout their analysis. Okay, so you see France. Okay, took them a long time to get to that point, but they got to it real early. All right, same thing with Sweden. They got to it real early. Austria, right there. We were way behind. All right, so took us 30 years later to get to this level. Okay, Japan, boom, happened real fast. Why is that? Okay, because it's a percent population, and people stopped having kids. All right, so there we go. All right, okay. So then we look down here, and we see that in these developing countries that don't have the economic infrastructure to deal with it. Okay, that's the whole point of this analysis right here. Look down here at how rapidly it's happening. Okay, so a lot of the technology and know-how about keeping people alive is percolating into these developing countries. Okay, and so people are living longer. Okay, and so we see how rapidly the population is aging. All right, within this, and they're not ready for it. They don't have this, nursing homes, assisted living facilities. They don't have pension systems. And likely people are not saving either. So it's a big deal. All righty. So we're looking at the increase in life expectancy. Okay. So 82 years right now. We had a drop in our life expectancy, and it was sadly because of the opioid epidemic and how many people were dying young from opioid overdoses. Okay. And one of our professors in gerontology did an amazing study on that. All right, cool. All right, so looking at the changes in life expectancy. All right, so you see the steady increase in life expectancy at birth. Okay, and you couple that with bum, 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 low fertility. All right, nobody's making babies. I was the prime example. Some of you probably won't even do it at all. Okay, because it's just so financially difficult, right? Um, and the reality is, for all of you guys, the age you're at, okay, in your in your early 20s. So let's say you're 20 to 22. Nature says you should have 4 or 5 kids already. That's what nature wants you to do because you guys are prime reproductive machines. Okay, but you're waiting. Okay, and you wait till later, get your job together, you start trying to have kids in your 30s, and lo and behold, you're infertile. What a bummer. All right, so that's the reality. All right, cool, 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 cool. All right, so we're going to look at some graphs that will be supported by the verbiage that we see here. Okay, we're going to come down here looking at graphs 3 and 4. Okay, so we're looking at white females in the United States. All right, during this epoch, 1901 to 2003. And we see here, these are called survivorship curves. We're looking at how many people in the population survive up to 100 years of age. So we're looking right here, everybody's born. Boom, we have 100% of the population. Okay, in 1901, we had this infant mortality. Okay, right here. All right, so you lost 20% of the population by age 10. Why was that? We had no clue in terms of public health, in terms of infectious disease and hygiene and things like that. There was a lot of work-related deaths. Okay, and so now there's dramatic improvements. So we look here at 2003, and pretty much 99.9% of the population survives to age 10. All right. People in 1901 continue to get taken out, so that the average lifespan. Okay, so remember we started with everybody here, started with 100 people. All right, we look at where's 50% of the people, and was right around 60 years of age. Okay, by this time we look at 50% of the people. Boom. All right, close to 80. All right, women outlive men. All righty, pretty cool stuff. Okay, and we see this right here. Okay, so we see the life expectancy for women and men have both gone up dramatically, but more so in women. Okay, men get a lot more heart disease. That's why. We get when we put on weight. Where do we put our weight, guys? We put our weight right here in our tummy. Okay, the apple shape, visceral fat that is just makes you a target for diabetes and heart disease. Okay, cancer as well. Okay, all righty. Oldest old. All right, that was part of my quiz. All right, I'm not going to go back to my quiz, but you should be going back and forth, back and forth. Okay, all righty. Boom. All right, so you come through down here. Okay, so you see the drill. Okay, I can come down here. All right, and we're looking at the projected increase in the global population, 2005 to 2030. Okay, and we see right here. All right, these are although there's not a lot of centenarians, we're pushing back the envelope. There's going to be a lot more. Okay, by 2030, a lot more by 85, on and on and on and on. Okay. All righty. Not a big increase in the 0 to 64, guys. Okay, awesome. All right, this talks about the communicable diseases. All right, so these are non-infectious. Okay, all right. This is chronic diseases, heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. They're the big three, and they cause long-term consequences to you as a caregiver and to whoever has them. Because it's a long journey to try and manage these diseases. Okay, all righty. So we're looking in here, and they compare these non-communicable diseases. 85% of the burden of disease in high-income countries like us. Okay, so this is where all the money's going, guys. If you're an economist, okay, all right, and then a lower income amount, a lower disease burden for low and middle income countries. Now, a big part of the difference is being a country of excess, we have twice the obesity rate of lower income countries or undeveloped countries. Okay, because we have so much food at our disposal that we have this overnutrition epidemic in our country, and it leads to diabetes and heart disease, and it's a bummer. Right? So we got to figure out ways to fix that. That's a public health message, right? There's doctors that are looking into this. Okay. All righty. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So again, we're looking at transitions in disease burden. Okay, so we see here in low and in middle income. Okay, we're going to look at what the scale is. It's color coded. All right, we have injuries, communicable diseases. Okay, these are all causes of disease and or morbidity and communicable disease. So you see here, not so much for them, a lot for us. Okay, for the non-communicable diseases, right? This is their cancer, this is their heart disease, this is their diabetes. Look at us. Okay, all right, they're going to go up by 2030, but not like us. Okay, all has to do with money and indulging. Okay, all righty. Population decline. Where are we going to see this? That was in my question. Russia. I kind of gave you a hint. Who wants to live in Russia? Okay, I wouldn't mind visiting it, but I don't want to live there. Okay, all right. So they have this dramatic population decline. Japan. What's there? So there's a lot of immigration in Russia, slowing infertility, but mostly immigration. People leaving. Okay, people leaving the Ukraine. Okay, we see here in Japan that it's because of the lowered fertility. Okay, and so we can look at all these population declines. Same thing in Italy. People are not having kids. Okay, alrighty. So we can look in Russia. Okay, and look at this dynamic. All right, so we're looking at negative, okay, losses right here between 2006 and 2030, coming up in 10 years. Okay, and we see this gigantic decline in all these age groups. You see right here, boom, 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 and this dramatic increase in the representation of the older age groups. These people are not reproducing, or they're 86ing. They're out of Russia, and all the old people are left behind. So as a percentage of the population, they're having a bigger impact. Okay, boom. Oh man, what was I supposed to go through? I think I was supposed to go to trend 5. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here. Okay, I'm going to take a look right here. Trend 5. Awesome. So that's the drill. Hopefully you guys understood this. Take a look at the other short video of Julie and I going in. It's kind of a cosmic I don't know, time capsule of what we're all going through. It's kind of neat. She's an amazing person. All right, guys. So that's it for right now. Okay. Don't forget the calendar, everything we got going over here. Just I guarantee you all we're gonna get A's as long as you keep up. All right. So go down here, do the discussion. Okay. I'm checking out. Let's see how many people are in. I want to check it out anyways. Check it out. Awesome. Look at all those people. All right. So I hope you enjoyed my little surfing video. Okay, it's what keeps me vital, keeps me alive. You guys should all do the same. All right, very cool. So if you haven't figured this out, all right, I can take a look at the top here. I'll look at Claire's. All right, so she's a sophomore studying human biology. Perfect. Hopefully you understood what I was talking about. She's from Seattle. All right, Seattle had some issues in terms of the assisted living facilities. All right, and so she wants to do audiology as a career. Perfect. Guess who have trouble with hearing and need to be fitted with hearing aids? Okay, older people. All right. I have permanent tinnitus. Okay. So yeah. So I'm gonna reply to Claire right now. I'm gonna say, okay. I'll say, what's up, Claire? All right. Claire. All right. And I'm really super happy. All right. Super happy. You will be able to combine your medical with aging knowledge in this class. All right. I'm going to tell her, email me about the audiology thing. I know a lot. I know people in the industry. All right. Very cool. All right. All right. So that's what I would do. All right. And if I was looking, I would say, shoot, I'm going to have to do this just like Claire did 2 more times to get full credit. All right. Because I got 1. All right. 2 more times. Okay, hit OK. Boosh, and I'm back to the menu. All right, guys, that's the drill. Let's go back to the announcement. All righty, boom, there's my beautiful wife. Oh, by the way, we just had our 33rd wedding anniversary. And man, I'm telling you right now, if you marry the right person, it is so awesome. The fact that we can be nostalgic and happy about everything, yeah, it's so cool. All right, guys, we are going to say, oh wait, I didn't mean to do that. Hit the wrong button. You're like Bernie, right? Say goodbye.